Hello, welcome back. We got assassinated a bit. A huge Tupelak appeared. Couldn't quite kill a mounted commander. Which is sort of surprising, they're kind of chunky looking. How did this go? Let's see. So they can actually fly, which is very strange. You fly in and then what happens? You just get punched to death, it looks like. Alright, not the most interesting thing. I guess they're not great assassins. Couldn't kill a mounted commander, did manage to kill an unmounted commander though. So there's that. Teleported our mage. We found a couple of sites this turn. Voice of Itsmu found an enchanted well, which is 1 water gem per turn. And in Honoria, I did the site searching finally for the site that was doing Holy Fire. It's not a very interesting one, unfortunately. Let's just recruit Centaur Chariots, so that's something, I suppose. But there we are. Big news this turn is that Atlantis cast a global enchantment. This is a really bad one as well, unfortunately. I'll look at that in a moment. Caught 15 blood slaves. A couple of battles then, we spied some more gas stuff walking around. Battle in Pardar, we took that with the Griffins, no problem. And then there was a battle at our fortress in Ivanmore. So here's the army. This is good because we get to actually see what spells Atlantis is going to use when we fight him. So we know that they have a big communion. Did any of you guys get diseased yet, by the way? Was my Bane Venom charm useless? One. I think it's just one guy got diseased. That hasn't made a huge impact. We diseased one mage. What about you guys? Yep, one mage. So you can see he puts up, he casts Stygian Rain, so whatever it's called, the one that gives you invulnerability on everyone. So we get it as well. And this puts up Natural Rain, which is bad for us. He also casts Wailing Winds, which is a pretty scary one. Lots of, yeah. We do okay though. About punching his dudes. Seems to be going fine. We're holding the line against these guys. And then we get annihilated by this spell. So this is a JBBM game, and in this version of JBBM, a new spell has been added to the game called Immersion. I think this spell might be overtuned. I think it's a bit too powerful at the moment because it just wipes us out instantly. I'll show it off in a moment, but I think it's kind of broken, unfortunately. How are you still alive? Didn't you have 1 hit point? I guess battles take place before HP loss from disease. Good to know. So that was the battle at the fortress in Ivanmore. I'll show that spell off before I forget. It is called Immersion. It's basically an AoE version of the drowning spells. And it looks like this. I think the stats on it are a bit too good. It only requires water 3, 2 water gems. So the Communion can cast a giant version of this. And that's really problematic because it has a base AoE of 9 and then it scales by 3 per level. And then it has a damage of 20 plus 6 per level. So that's an extremely large, extremely damaging AoE that is armor-negating damage, regular magic resist roll, lingers for 2 turns, so it's a lingering cloud. And it doesn't affect you if you can breathe water, which is why his units can walk through it and mine can't. So this is a pretty devastating spell. If we fly Griffins onto his mage line, he can just dump that spell on himself, and it will only hurt him, only hurt me and won't hurt him. So this is a bit troubling of how we deal with this. I was thinking of what we could summon that would actually like resist it. We can't easily recruit anything that breathes water. We can recruit some undead stuff, but it's mostly just Hidden in Sands units and regular skeletons, which isn't usually useful. So I'm not sure. The spell is kind of a problem. I think maybe we could... I'm not sure if we forge water-breathing items, if you have a water breathing item on you, does that give you water breathing on your units in a battle? I kind of feel like it wouldn't. Maybe that's something to think about as well. Tricky one. What are the messages we got? Oh yeah, this. So the global enchantment that went up is Lure of the Deep. This spell is also just busted. Why have I never seen this spell used in a game before? Maybe it's because of the map. Like, if we look at the map, so this spell affects coasts, and if you look at, because this is a map nuke map, and map nuke just puts random, like, water provinces everywhere. Practically, like, every single bit of territory here is a coast, which makes this kind of ridiculous. Basically, any units or commanders on a coast just have to beat an MR check or they just die. Like, this actually seems even more powerful than Vengeful Water, and the horrible thing is, of course, he can also cast Vengeful Water quite easily. So this turn, yeah, we just lost, what, 47 units and a mage? Which was just these guys who are here. Like, this is what this army looks like now. We just lost like half the units here, because it's on a coast. So I don't see how we could possibly fight into Atlantis now. Like, it's actually worse than Vengeful Water, which is crazy. So, all in all, not a very fun turn to look at. We're in a very difficult spot versus Atlantis now, I think. Events then, Starius Range lost some Dominion, Wolvermarie lost some Dominion, lost a Scout. Also, apparently, Jomon is AI. I'm not sure when it happened. Probably a couple of turns ago. But yeah, I just never noticed. Sort of starving in Pardar as well. It's funny. I guess Jomon had a lot of death Dominion everywhere. And that's it for messages, yeah. So Immersion is going to be very hard to fight against. And Lure of the Deep is going to be very difficult to fight into. So any thoughts of like pushing down into this region are just over, I guess. I'm not really sure what to do about that. So we have to just fight defensive wars in our own provinces. We're going to have to sack this entire line, I think, because we can't defend them. Because they're coasts. Doesn't feel very good. Because it says 20 in neutral dominion. Does that mean we're protected if we have our dominion, or? I'll have to check that as well. So this turn, yeah, this stack is just running away. I have to get away from coast. I can't move to Hesperia in one turn. So we'll go this way. I'm moving stuff into Hesperia. And we have to just defend these 3 provinces, I guess. This is now my borderline. None of this feels good. Up here in Pardar, these units are just sitting in Durland for now. Jomon might start attacking Bettyheim or something if he's AI, who knows. Let's wait and see what he does. And I'm not going to break siege in Land of Plenty this turn either, not just yet. We didn't actually get any heat here, which is really strange. We don't get to see the event because we're getting sieged. But we've got our Dominion, we've got 7 points of our Dominion, and we have heat Dominion, so like all my other provinces are heat free. And then, well, I guess if he's been continually casting War and Winter on this province, we wouldn't know, would we? Would we? Oh, okay. He has been. Alright, that makes more sense then. But yeah, we can't actually get the temperature up, which is a shame. So I'm just going to sit here until he storms it, I guess. I'm not sure exactly. If this stack starts moving down, then I'm going to have to break siege before it gets here because I can't have him merging all this stuff together. So I'm moving the Scout with the Bane Venom Charm down to kind of, let's see, if we're moving with it, let's follow it for a bit and then we'll break siege before it gets here. But one other additional little bit of prep I'm doing is I'm summoning some extra stuff in this fort now. I'm summoning like some skeletons, I think. Or did I cancel that? Perhaps I cancelled it. No, I'm casting Reanimation, there it is. So we'll get a few skeletons to help out and bulk up the forces, I guess. And I'll keep forging the lifelong protections when I can as well. And the only thing I'm doing is I'm just casting Breath of the Desert and Fires from Afar on this province every turn. Maybe that'll hurt his army a bit. Not really doing much else there at the moment. In Hesperia, the cool D3 Astral Dust Priest that we've got, I'm going to teleport this guy to Land of Plenty. I believe we end up in the fort, so he'll be able to more easily cast Rigor Mortis, so that's the thinking there. So we'll stick him in that fort as well. And this turn, the Buried in the Sands spell gave us 2 mages, which is really nice. They're both D3 mages, so they'll both be really good at casting Rigor Mortis and stuff. Although they don't have any Astrals, so I can't easily communion them or anything. We also got our first Era Seraph as well, which is cool. Other little miscellaneous things happening this time. I am contacting a Naiad. So we'll summon a Naiad in Ragha. And I think that might be it. We're doing wolves and blood hunting in this new province now as well. So that's nice. We'll get some more blood slaves coming in. Wolves, Naiad, Breath of the Desert. I think that's everything. There's the reanimation and the fires from afar. Yeah, and that's it for this turn. So, still very passive turns, but not sure what to do exactly. But we'll see what happens. Now that Atlantis has this throne, I suppose I could see if he wants peace, but I don't see why he would. He must feel pretty dominating, so... that was the turn. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next turn. Hello, welcome back. We got our evocation done. We hit 6. We can do mine hunts now. Might be useful at some point. We can also do a lot of the weird fire spells like Astral Fires. Some of our Dust Priest guys can do that. Bane Fire, or pretty much all my big mages can do. That might be useful someday. I'm going to get Alteration 5 briefly, just because I can easily pick it up this turn. And that gives me a few things. There's lots of death stuff that's good in Alt, Enfeeble, Invulnerability, and Drain Life. They all have some uses. And then I might just continue going up evocations. Did some spells, Diaportant. Can't actually remember what one this is. It might be, oh that's right, I think it was Vengeful Water actually. Patala casting it. I'll check. It's funny that I can't remember already. Breath of the Desert we did. We contacted a Naiad, so I'll show her off as well. Search the sites, didn't find any. Bought 16 plus 7 Blood Slaves, which I think is 23. Some battles then. AI Jomon attacked Summerage, took that off us. Scantrest, we defended. Pardar, that's where the bulk of his dudes are at the moment. And he also moved, Atlantis also moved his armies toward me. So we got the guys who were here have moved into Urka Desert, and the army that was in Ivanmore has moved up into Tech Regis. Baneman and Charm is now no longer in play because we started losing all of our scouts to Lure of the Sea, unfortunately. I guess all of my scouts in Atlantis' territory are going to die over the next few turns. I can't actually see very many. There's one there, a couple there. Bit of a shame. Yeah, so just to remind ourselves, Urka Desert isn't too bad. It's a lot of big units, so 99 big units, but no mages or anything, really just one Angakok. And then like Regis is the bigger one with the Communion. Do you guys have any gems left? Forgot to check. Oh yeah, lots of gems. They can still probably do all of the big spells. Yeah, so those are the guys who are walking towards us. I assume they're going to try and threaten Ragha. Makes sense. Yeah, lost 4 scouts to All of the Sea. Honoria, we got hit by a Blight. I thought this was someone casting Black Death on me, but then Honoria is just this random province, so it would be kind of odd. You can get this as just a random event, so I guess that might be what it is, but it's just very funny when you see this message in the log and you think, oh god, someone is Black Deathing me. What else happened? Blighted Woods, Independence attacked Bettyheim, a lumber construct. Some scouts, under siege Land of Plenty, patrolling, lost a Dasta to a disease. Okay, we're getting threatened here. You know, as I reflect on this game, and it always sucks when you're like, sometimes I get in a game like this, right, and I start to think, I just played this whole game wrong, right? But now I'm recording all the turns and everyone has to watch me play the game wrong. And I'm just thinking, like, old Mew would have just finished expanding and then immediately ran over, Patola or Genshi or Kalem or whatever. But because I'm like trying to slow down the pace, be more reflective, I thought, Jomon seems like a good target because it gives me throne access. Yes, let's go after Jomon instead. And then, I don't know, that was just a bad idea, wasn't it? I should have just grabbed easy territory. Didn't even get throne access in the end, and then I chickened out of fighting Tengu, which is probably also a mistake. Maybe I should have just smashed into them and hoped for the best. I don't know. But we feel really just crushed now in this game. Atlantis is so hard to fight. There's no way I'm breaking siege anymore because of immersion communions. Because I need the gate, right? I need to have a bunch of undead guys blocking up the gate while I do some other stuff. Do you know what? The Griffins are going to be just a liability, aren't they? Because no matter what, they're going to fly in and just get absolutely, drowned, basically. Yeah, I just feel like in a horribly losing position now. I do still have 2 thrones. One's the worst throne in the game, but one's probably the best, so I don't know. We're in a rough spot. Anyway, since we can see 2 big Atlantean stacks on our border now, and we have to sack these 2 provinces anyway, I'm going to try and defend Wolverine. And this might just be a mistake, because if he moves everything here and everything here into Wolverine, I'm not sure if anything we have in this region could beat that. If he just moves this stuff, though, maybe we could give it a shot. It's a pretty vulnerable communion. It's a ton of units, let's be honest. It is possible he just moves everything into Wolverine and would threaten Ragha with a gigantic army. But if it were me, I would split the army in Oka Desert up, and I'd attack Imiklan and Armbeg at the same time and take those, and then just move this stack up. I think that's what I'd do. He also might not do anything. He might just move this army to here and this army to here, or something weird like that. He might play more defensively, trying to lure me forwards, but there's no way I'm moving forwards. I really don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move absolutely everything I can to Wolverine and just try and do some kind of defense. Because I think if he just moves around and we just play, or if I play more defensively and he moves up and takes more territory, I think it's just, that's losing anyway, right? We're already pretty small at this point when you think about it. If we have to cede this. They only have this territory and then we're trapped in this fort and all this is unconnected. I'm going to try and defend this because if we get lucky and we just kill an army, it gives us a lot of momentum. And if we don't, if it goes badly here and we lose everything, does it really change anything? It kind of feels like we're losing anyway. So here's what I'm going to do. First things first, the guy we teleported into Land of Plenty, he's teleporting back. Death Tongue here. I haven't named anyone in a while. Got a bunch of items. He's going to be teleporting to Wolverine. He's the only guy who's moving in during the magic phase, so he's the only guy who's awkward to show off. But he's basically just going to make himself a Communion Master and then cast Rigor Mortis, and then he can just be a skeleton spam or whatever. Skeletons are useful because they don't breathe, so they'll survive immersion at least. But really, we're just going to try and fatigue out the enemy army and overwhelm them with trash units. That's all we're really trying to do. So he's teleporting in. He's in the bottom left corner. Communion Master, Rigor Mortis. That's his job. Everything else is just coming from these 3 provinces. It's basically whatever I can move. And there's a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's enough stuff to kill almost 400 units and a Communion. But I'm going to give it a shot anyway. First of all, we have all of our little tiny mages, the Carapans. They are either going to summon a fire elemental immediately, well, a lesser one, or they're going to summon a lesser air elemental after 3 turns, one or the other. There's a lot of these guys doing that, as you can see. They will just have 1 gem. That's really their only job, is just to put a bunch of inanimate, or whatever they are, construct units in the battle. Yeah, that's it. Then we've got some Turin Sorcerers who do a bunch of stuff. This one's just a skeleton spammer. Got some shoes for some reinvigoration. Did I miss anyone? Oh, there's this one as well. He's going to just do flame wards. Give some more people fire resistance. All the units are in the bottom corner as well. Just on hold and fire. Unless they don't have fire resistance, in which case they're a bit separate. More elementals. Got the dust guys. Same thing, hold and attack closest. Here is the first wildcard mage. Everyone who can cast some kind of protection from fire spell on turn 1. These guys are going to do summon sprites, since they also cause fatigue, which is something. Earth guy is going to do some earth melds, why not? Here's another guy doing flame ward and then some fire clouds. Got nature mages doing nothing but 3 turns and then swarm. More summon sprites. Here's a water mage, going to do some curse of the desert, which is more fatigue. We've got a guy who has been buffed up to Earth 4 with Earth Power. Plus he's got 1 penetration item. He's also got a bit of fire resist. He's going to drop a Curse of Stones. That's more fatigue. Mostly going to affect the units though. He can then just cast Gifts of Heaven, why not? He'll fatigue out pretty quickly, I think. More Hordes of Skeletons. More Earth Melds. An Astral Geyser Caster, my favourite spell in the game. Why not? Here's this Era Seraph. He's going to summon some big air elementals. Why not? More skeletons. Then we've got the Heat from Hell, which is more fatigue. And then we've also got the Naiad, who is going to move into the fight. She's going to do Howl. So why not? And then more Curse of the Desert. So that's a lot of fatigue. The PD here is also these guys. And these guys, who have blowpipes that also do fatigue. This province is currently Heat 2. This will be the last chance we really have to fight in good heat, I think. Because the likely target is going to be my cap, which is getting hammered by cold. And I suppose we've got domes now. But we're about to go into winter. It's late fall. This is still Heat 2. It's also Drain 2, which makes casting harder. So my hope is that we just fatigue out the communion very quickly. And then we have a bunch of skeletons who can survive the fatigue. We've got 2 imp things in the fight, plus Howl for wolves and imps. That's really it. That's the game plan, is just hope that these handful of units, plus these guys, are enough to fight off these stacks if we lay down a ton of fatigue effects on the enemy army. Is that going to work? Probably not. But let's give something a shot. I don't know. I just feel like I've played this game really badly, so... it's possible he doesn't move into this province, of course. In which case, at least we've got the army set up, ready for continuing to move around. And I'm moving some more stuff down. We've got these guys who are moving up here, protecting us from Jomon. The griffins and the skeletons, these guys can move down. We can do another Pin in Sands next turn. Don't actually have a caster in our cap anymore, but we'll get one though. That'll give us more units. Got some Sav coming out of Rid here. We're moving more units down, but they're not in useful places at the moment. And that's pretty much it for this turn. Yeah, I don't think I've played this game very well at all. Maybe I'm suffering just because I don't really play LA. I don't really know which nations are good and which ones are bad. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel bad. Land of Plenty, I'm not going to break siege yet. We're going to just have to sit here and wait for the port to get opened. We can put up Vath of Flames as well before we have a storm battle. The wall integrity is still 275, so still we've got plenty of time to... we can teleport more mages back into this fort if we need to later on, if we're still in the game. Forging another Skull Staff to replace the one we might lose this turn. And that's pretty much it. Still doing blood hunting. We'll have enough slaves to forge another contract next turn. That's it for the turn. Yeah. Atlantis seems very, very strong as well. It's impossible to fight into his territory. And Immersion and Communion seem pretty hard to deal with units. I'm not sure how we fight Atlantis, even if we were on the good foot. Instead of the back foot. But this is how how I'm leaving this turn. It was Vengeful Water that went up. That's an interesting one. The Batala has 3 globals. Probably shouldn't have left him alone. Probably should have rolled over him at the beginning of the game. Oh well. Anyway, I submitted this turn last night. I knew that this was probably a mistake, but I was going to do it anyway. And I haven't checked, because the turn rolled over last night and I haven't checked it yet this morning. This guy, I had a lot of problems. I've been busy lately because of a bunch of stuff, but this game just got moved to a 52-hour timer, so maybe I'll be able to go back to recording the turns as I do them, which I find a lot more comfortable. But anyway, this was the turn, and I'll see you in a moment while I go and check the damage in the current turn. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, welcome back. First things first, there's no battle in Wolverine, so oh well. Maybe that's for the best, I don't know. I did get the alteration done though. Crystal Throne's now been claimed. Did the usual rituals, teleported Death Tongue, caught some slaves, some battles then. We're getting invaded by Jomon. Looks like he's taking a province of Atlantis as well, which is nice. But he also took God's Tomb off us, which is over here. I don't want the AI pushing further into me, it's annoying. I hope he goes and fights Betty or something next. Yeah. And Atlantis did the both armies move sideways thing, so he just took the border that I can't hold. Yeah. A lot of the sea keeps killing our scouts. Also losing scouts to Vengeful Water now as well. Great Woods got some unrest, which is great. The guys who were in Wolverine, I had the Griffin guys patrolling. Maybe that was a mistake. I'm not sure why I set them to patrol exactly. Sometimes when you're just pressing N and you're like, you've got one commander, you just want to do something with him. So I had him patrol. But one of the things we patrolled out was an Atlantean scout, so the Atlantean scout sees the army now. Maybe that's a good thing though, I don't know. Maybe he sees this and goes, oh, this is a puny army. I can walk into that. I'm not sure. Probably not good though, is it? Let's be honest. Yeah, we also recruited some mercenaries, forgot to mention that. I got these guys because they are aquatic, so... Well, not yeah, they're amphibians. So they can survive immersion at least. Same for this guy. That's something. Could also raid Atlantis' territory with those guys. Yeah, but there they are anyway. And that's it for messages. Yeah, so this turn, it's still the same army in Imicton. 200 units, 16 mages in a communion. Maybe they move up now, hopefully, I don't know. We've got some additional reinforcements now though. Got 50 more skeletons, 20 more Savaran, another mage. We'll stick those in the ball of units here, and hope he moves up this turn. We can't sit here very long because, of course, the Naiad is slowly dying. She's down to 7 hit points now. I guess that's technically her maximum. Old age -3, is that really? They are homesick. It's weird because they don't have the homesick icon, which is very strange. Yeah, but she's down to 7 hit points. I'm forging a Coral Blade this turn to give to her. But I don't think it helps because I think that just gives you max HP. It doesn't actually give you current HP. There's also no lab in this province yet, and I can't afford to build one. So it's going to be a turn before I can even give her an item. But I don't know, she can't stay in this province for long, I don't think. And the other thing I was testing with this is that she was leading the flying units. She was leading these guys. Because she has Gift of Water Breathing. So I wondered, would these guys be immune to immersion if she's leading them? Because they become water breathers. But I guess there's no way of really knowing because they don't get an icon. They don't even get an icon on the strategic map. Which I thought they did. But I don't know if the game like classes these guys as water breathers or not now. I'm not sure how to see that. But they're being led by a Gift of Water leader, so I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, hopefully that helps us deal with immersion, I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm still just going to try and defend. Well, I really don't know what to do at this point in the game, but I'm still just going to try and defend. We need a battle. We need to like win an actual battle, and until it happens, yeah, we're just getting picked apart, unfortunately. But moving more stuff to Wolverine, still just sitting here. Everyone's either preaching or searching. We're only one white candle here, which is worrying. We're also in winter now, so we're losing heat. This province is very funny, by the way. It's down to 14,000. I'm pretty sure this was a big population province at one point, but it just gets hammered by Wolven Winter and Breath of the Desert every turn, so everyone's just dying. There are 376 corpses here. It's a shame these guys are in a fort, because they are reanimators. So they would be able to reanimate tons and tons of soulless off all these corpses, but unfortunately you can't do that inside a sieged fort. You can do it outside of a fort though, so the guys in Wolverine are doing Long Dead, which are also immune to immersion, which is something, I suppose. I'm not bringing the Griffins down to Wolverine because, I don't know, I'm still worried that these guys are just a liability, because they'll wait 2 turns and then they'll fly in and they'll just get drowned. I want to keep units as far away from the communion as possible for as long as possible. So instead I'm just going to fly those guys to Helbathria. Maybe this army moves up. Maybe it just puts this fort under siege, but either way, we'll move to Helbathria this turn and then move into Hesperia next turn, I guess. I don't know. That's where they're moving. Still don't have a mage in my cap to do Hidden Under Sands, but I'm moving this guy out. He's a bit old. He's very old. He's 40 years old age. He's slowly moving over to Ragha. Maybe he can start doing Hidden in Sands castings. That's really it. I put the Province of Instaris up to 20 to maybe that'll kill the Tengu walking towards us in God's Tomb. Only 12 of them, but 5 Yamabushis. These guys are very strong though, is the thing. If our boosters were free, we could just hit this army with Mind Hunt. It's just a regular commander. But unfortunately all my boosters are now tied up in this army. Yeah, awkward spot. I'm not sure what to do. So this is how things look at the moment. I got a message from Patala asking me if I can fight off Atlantis, and I said probably not. I mean, I guess other people have to invade Atlantis at this point if they want to help me fight them off. No good just kind of asking and saying, oh, maybe, you know, I could help you do something if... no, you just got to invade him. Otherwise, he's just going to get big, I think, if I lose. But maybe we'll have a fight here one day and we'll win and that'll turn the tide or something. Plan to plant these down to 199 wall. It's going to be ages still. Maybe it'll be spring by the time he breaks and we'll be back to some heat. I don't know. Yeah. That's the turn anyway. That's turn 45. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.